Former head coach for Racing Louisville is at the center of a sexual assault and harassment investigation.
A 179-page report was released yesterday after a national investigation into professional women's soccer. 29 pages focused on former coach Christy Holly. It describes him as degrading, abusive, and manipulative. Holly left Racing with many questions unanswered about his departure. Team leaders say they couldn't say anything because of a non-disclosure agreement. The team has not commented on this report. Now, WDRB's Eric Crawford is here this morning to give us a little bit closer look at this investigation. Glad you could come in, Eric. Thank you.
Good to be here.
Thank you for your time. Talk about the specific allegations that Holly is facing.
Well, it's plain and simple. It's sexual assault and sexual harassment in the workplace. So a player, Aaron Simon, is a player who he had known before at another club in the NWSL. And he is accused of all manner of just disgusting and inappropriate sexual behavior towards her. He kind of groomed her, basically. She saw him as a mentor, and if you read through this, you'll see just what happened. He touched her inappropriately under the pretense of one-on-one film sessions, showed pornography in those. Just a horrible situation, and the details are not pleasant to read or write.
What was Racing's response to this?
Well, once they found out about the abuse, the actual abuse was reported to them on a Monday night, and Holly was fired by Tuesday afternoon. So they responded extremely quickly and decisively once they heard these allegations. The problem is that they heard other allegations against him, not of a sexual harassment nature, but just of treating players poorly, manipulating the injury recovery process, and some other things that probably required a deeper look than they gave. Players in the end felt like they couldn't go to the club with their complaints because nothing happened when they did go to them with complaints. So that's an issue. And then there's the issue of what's their responsibility to let the public know what happened and why he was fired. The club says it hasn't spoken at all since this, but they said in the report they came to a non-disclosure agreement to protect the identity of the player who did not want to be identified at the time. But that still leaves a question of, can you not say there was a sexual inappropriate relationship with a player or something like that?
Okay, talk to us about what is next for the coach. Is he facing criminal charges? Could he be facing criminal charges?
I don't know. That's all a legal question depending on how much physical evidence there is. And there may be some in terms of text messages and things like that, but likely not enough to go on and to have this go to a criminal trial and result in anything. And is that what the player wants? Is that what the club wants? I don't know. I kind of view that as unlikely at this point. More than a year has passed since the ends of all of this has gone on. But I do think there's more of a public relations fallout for the club, for the league, because this isn't just Louisville. This went on in other cities and other clubs and at other levels, not just professional, but international, Olympic level, all the way down to youth leagues.
What do you think this means for the future of women's soccer, and where do you see us going from here?
Well, it's always a question, and women's soccer is going to be here. It's an important part of the sports landscape. It is popular, it is growing, and these things are just continue to be setbacks for these leagues. And I just think that the problem is that they haven't figured out a way to deal with this, and this has been going on for a long time in a lot of women's sports, not just soccer. The sport has a future. It has a future in Louisville, but this stuff has to be cleaned up, and they have to make the right statements and do the right things to get it back on course.
All right, Eric, thank you for your perspective. We appreciate you coming in
Thanks,
this morning.
Guys.
Yep. Always good to see you.
You have an in-depth article on our website.
Absolutely,
right?
yes.
Okay, for more details, go there. Thank you.